Hello, hello, hello. This is Els coming to you from Bemis Crafty Corner, and we are going to be working on making a canvas tag today. And I like a canvas tag, but it's just it's not very sturdy. So I want to put it onto a piece of um, card to make it more sturdy. Or, I could bind two pieces of canvas together, and that would give me a little bit more of a firm tag. So we're going to do, two things today. So I want to talk about what we do, how we do that. And the way that we do that is a product called Heat and Bond. This is an iron-on adhesive, and it comes in two colors. It comes in purple, and it comes in the red. Now, the difference is the red one is extremely thick, and you cannot sew through it. The purple one is sewable, all right? You can buy this at Walmart in a roll like this. It is 5¼ yards by 17 inches wide, and it runs about $15 for this, so somewhere around $3, a yard for it. You can also buy a product called Pellon, okay? And Pellon is the exact same product. It's called Wonder Under, and it's the exact same product as the Heat and Bond. It's just less expensive. This stuff's about $2 a yard, okay? Completely fusible, washing machine safe. You can sew through this if you want to. All right, so we're going to look at the difference between the two products. So let's take a look. You'll notice that, let me get this one out of the package here so we can take a look at both of them side by side. All right, so you'll notice that with this one, there's no shine to it or anything. It's just kind of flat. Whereas with the Heat and Bond, you see how it's very shiny? You see that? Okay, so that is just one more layer that you're going to be putting on your product. You can see it's just very shiny, and it has a gritty feel to it. So we are going to be doing two different tags today. We're going to be using some Pellon, and we're going to be using the Heat and Bond, okay? So let's start with our little tag shape here. So what I did is I cut out a strip, and then I cut that to the width of the tag that I want. And I have a piece here that I've traced the tag on. Now this is the Heat and Bond. This is the Heat and Bond Light. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tag on it, and I'm going to go over to my iron, and I'm just going to iron this on. Okay, so now I've ironed this on. Now here's the thing to remember. Whenever you're ironing and using these Heat Bond products, you want to make sure that the heat setting you use is appropriate to the fabric. Now we're using heavyweight duck cloth canvas here, so we can put it on a pretty high setting. Now I'm going to peel this off, and you're going to notice that it leaves this shiny coating on the back of the piece. That is the Heat and Bond. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there, and I'm going to bring this over so that you guys can see what I'm doing. So all I have is a towel, perfectly good for ironing on, and I have my little tag, which I'm going to put on here. Now this will keep the tag from fraying, okay, as well. So I have this on here. It's all lined up. I have it right where I want it, and I'm just going to iron over this. Now, normally, if we were doing book cloth, I would have you iron on the paper side, but we're going to iron this on both sides. We're going to iron the fabric side first, and then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to iron on the paper side. Okay? Now, that's going to give me a pretty good adhesion. Now, at this point, if I want this to stay on here, I would sew this on. It's not going to come off. It's just not. It's on there. It's on there for good, okay? So that is using the Heat and Bond. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the Pellon at this point. So for this, let me get this out of the way for the moment. And I'm going to move this because we're going to be using the grid board. So I have two pieces here. They're not very large. We're just going to make a small tag. Let's see. This one is about 4.5 by 1, 2, 3, about 4. So let's do like 2.25 by 4, just because it's easy and we've already got a piece of canvas cut. So I'm going to get out my cutter. I'm going to get out my ruler. I'm going to trim this down. Let's just do it 2 by 4. So I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to put it on here. I'm going to trim this piece off. And we'll put that on the line. And we'll go ahead and trim this one off just to make sure it's nice and even. It's close enough for hand grenades and horseshoes, right? All right. Get that off of there. And now we have a piece that is just over 4 inches wide. I'm going to straighten this piece up right here. All right, so now I have a piece that is 4 inches by 4 inches. So we're going to just cut it in half. We're going to call this 2 by 4. We're making a small tag. Just because, well, you know, I'm too lazy to go and get another piece. So I have two pieces that roughly fit together, and I want to make this double thick. So we're going to use a piece of Pellon for this. And so with the Pellon, we just need to get a smaller piece, because we don't need it to be this big. Let's get a workable size piece. There we go. And I will put this to the side. All right, so I'm going to take this. This is my straight edge. Put it down. Straight edge, straight edge. I'm going to go 2 inches. Give that a quick cut. And it has to be how long? 4 inches. So right here. I'm going to take that off. All right. Close that for safety. I'm going to bring my towel back. Yes, I grew up in the era of, we don't need no stinking ironing board. All right, so I have my fabric. I have the Pellon with the gritty side facing down. That's the sticky side. And I'm going to iron on the Pellon, on the paper side, okay? Once I have that attached, I'll go ahead and peel the paper off the back. And you can feel that there's an adhesive on there. It is a dry adhesive, okay? And then I'm going to take my other piece, put it on here, and I'm just going to press the two pieces together. Turn it over and press it on the other side. Just want to make sure that I really get that adhesion, okay? All right. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. And come back over here. Now, obviously, I want to give this, you know, some wedged edges. So. One. And put it right up there. Normally, I would do this on the cutting board, but I decided we'll do this the easy way. 2. And there we have it. Now, let's take a look at both of these side by side. So this is the one we used the heat and bond with, and we did it onto a piece of file folder. So it's got, you know, I can put this in a pocket or something if I want, and cut it down if I need to, whatever I need to do with it. I could cut this bottom piece off and make it a pocket, however I want to do it. And this is what a double piece of canvas looks like with that filler in the middle. Okay, so let's see, can we poke a hole in this? I don't know. Let's find out. All right, got out my big Brad setting hole punching pliers. I want my hole right about there. I can poke a hole in it. Okay. So I could set a brad in here if I want to. I do have some loose threads that I can pull out, you know, just if I want that look. Want it to look a little raggedy. I can certainly go through and, you know, pull these off and ink the edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull these off of here, make this nice and clean, and I'm going to set a brad on this, and then we are going to take a little bit more of a look on, you know, what kind of weight we're talking here that these can support, okay? I'll be right back. Okay, so I went around and I just edged both of the tags. I did not use vintage photo. I'm not going to dye. It's not my favorite ink. What I did use is a color called Saddle. It's just brown. And the reason I like it is because I tend to think that vintage photo turns very orange. And I don't like that orange color. I don't want it on my stuff. So I have this piece of rose applique, and I have cut it apart, and I'm just going to take this brush and a little bit of this archival ink. It's Thistle, and I'm just going to touch kind of the outside of it. Just gently and lightly, just kind of following the threads themselves. And the reason I'm using a brush is so that I can get some of these inside pieces in here. And I'm touching it very lightly. I just want to put on a very tiny amount of ink here. I'm just trying to bring out the flower, because if I just put it on here, it disappears. And I don't want that. That would be, why would I put it on there then? Why not just have a tag? Okay, so I'm just touching this, and I'm kind of moving the things out of the way as I get to places that shouldn't be purple, you know, that should be, I don't know, green. Okay, and put a little bit of color in the center here, and a little bit on the center of this. There we go. A little bit more there, a little bit more here. All right, so I'm going to put this away real quick, and I'm going to get out some green. So if you want to know what I'm doing here to clean the brush off, I'm just rubbing it on a scrap piece of canvas, and it takes the color off for me. And then I'm just going to get a little bit of green on here. And I'm going to come back in on these leaves and the stem and just add a little bit of green to that. You know, we have inks that we can use for these things. Let's not be afraid of them. Put a little green up here. And a little bit of green on this guy over here. And of course a little bit of green on the stem. Just a hint of color. Same thing here. I want to make this look like a stem down the middle, so I'm just going to add a little bit of green on the tip of my brush and just kind of brush it on there. I'm basically painting the ink onto where I want it on the leaf. There we go. And it just adds a little bit of depth to it. All right, so now that I have that done, and if I really want this clean, this is just water. And you can see it'll bring out a lot of those colors, okay? You can use this, get it wet and use it on your like stamp cleaning pad if you have one. Do the same thing with it, okay? So let's get rid of these. And let's bring in some Fabri-Tac. Going to add some Fabri-Tac here. And you can use some 3-in-1, some Aleene's fabric glue, whatever you want. I like the Bog of Eternal Stench as much as I complain about it. For me, it just works. And it's quick. All right. A little more at the top. And then I'm going to find where I want this thing. And where am I going to put this one? I'm going to go that way with it. Okay. Put some adhesive here. Now, if you've got hot glue, use hot glue, ladies, okay? I don't care if you feel that you need to use your art glitter glue. The idea is get it on there. And cap the glue before it burps. Here we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and lay this one out. And if I have to, come in and get some glue on this point, because it's just not gluey enough. All right. I'm just going to hold these down, press them a little bit, and I'm going to give them a few minutes to dry. And then we're going to start kind of building some other things on here. Okay, so I want to put, I just think a butterfly is appropriate. So I've got one that I like on this side. I never trust this. So I'm going to take that off. Add some glue here. Just never trust the sticky part, you know? So we're going to add that. Then we need a butterfly that is an appropriate size for this one. And the only thing I really have is this set right here. And what I can do. Should have thought about this before I made this tiny little tag. I think we're going to use this one right here. Again, I'm not going to trust the sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and put some Fabri-Tac on here. We will close that all the way. Put it back up there. And we're going to put this right here. We want it to fit. We're just going to hold it down. Now you could just scrape that sticky piece off the back if you wanted to. I think it just adds a little more dimension to the piece, so I leave it on there. Yeah, it's a personal choice. Okay, So now I have that. Now, most people at this point would just throw lace at it with some glue and see what sticks, but I'm not that kind of gal. So, we're going to stamp. So I'm going to get my alphabets out that I want to use, and we're going to go ahead and stamp on these. So I'll be right back, and we're going to stamp some words. All right, so I have my new wood stamps that I've been dying to play with. I did these, I got these all set up, and I've been dying to play with them. So we're going to play with those, and we're going to play with our new wood ones. So I thought this one, it needs bigger letters, so I picked a bigger alphabet. And I am probably not sure. I might go up the tag. I might go here along the edge. So we're going to get out our StazOn. And I'm going to test this a few times before I stamp with it, because I want to make sure that I get a good image. So I kind of want to break the stamp in a little bit and learn. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do is hit that, and then I want to kind of wipe off the edge here. I'm going to start right here. And I'm going to hold this for just a second, let the ink soak in. Okay. Again, I'm going to test, because I'm looking for high points on the stamp. Okay. I'm happy with that. Okay. And my last one, which is a W. All right. And I'm happy with that. Okay. I like that. You put these away. I don't know why, but with my alphas, I don't clean them. All right, so that's put away. Now on this little one, I want to put peace. So again, I'm going to stamp and practice. Okay. piece. I like that. Okay. All right, put those away. And I can tell you there's some things here that I like and don't like about these wood stamps, okay? I like the letters. I think they're great. I like the size of them. It's wonderful. The little handles are nice. Having to put them together and not being able to put the labels on the top because they're too big is caca. Just saying. Get it together, people. Okay, so now I can add some blingy-ding if I wanted to. We're kind of at that stage. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stuff put away. I'll get out some bling. We'll see if we want to add some bling. If we don't, we'll just go on to tassels, okay? All right, so we got down the blingy box, and I have decided that on these particular tags, pearls work, you know. This is so not my norm, right? Okay, so I'm going to cut this off. Let's get rid of that, and let's cut these. And then we are going to be putting these onto our tag. But we have to use some fabric tack. So I think I'm going to put one here. And I'm going to put one here. So I'm going to put a little bit of fabric tack here. Just a little bit. And a little bit of fabric tack over there. Just a little bit. We don't want it oozing out the side, you know, but we want it to hold the pearl, which does come pre-adhesive, but it's not fabric adhesive. Okay, one pearl here. And one pearl over here. And I'm okay with that. I know I'm breaking the pearl rule, right? I only put one pearl, two pearls. Ah! Elves, you know that there's a 3 pearl minimum. I don't care. All right, so now I got to put a pearl on this one, and I like this spot right over here. So we'll put a little fabric tack. And I'm going to put some over here, because I like this spot down here. All right. And then we're going to get some bling dingy. We're going to put these pearls on. This pearl goes down here. And this pearl is going to go up here. I think I want to put one over here too. Three pearls. Okay. Last one. Go right there. Okay. So, I think that's all the blingy dingy I want to put on here. So, I'm going to put my blingy box away. And I am going to get out a little bit of lace. I'm not going to put a lot on here, but I have a lot of space on this one, so I want to add some more to this one. And I'm not sure, I might put a little bit more on here, but I'm going to go ahead and close up my fabric tack. I'm going to get rid of the box o' bling, and then I'll be right back. Okay, So this is all of my hem tape and seam binding and all of my sari stuff. And this is all string and cord, okay? And I could do a fairly large kind of tassel on these. So let's see if there's anything in here that we really like. And we could do some thin laces as well. So basically, you know, we're just going to kind of take a look at what we've got and maybe build, you know, some tassels. I'm just going to cut some pieces and definitely have to have some string in here. Maybe some of this dark string. Okay. And I'll use the dark string to do this. I just want to see what it's going to look like. I think it's going to work on the little one. So I just kind of made a loop and put it on there, and I have like this little piece coming out. I'm just going to take a piece of string, wrap it around here about 5-6 times. I'm just going to tie it off, right over left. Left over right. All right, and we're just going to clean up some edges here. Get this trimmed down to a reasonable size. With a little haircut. All right, so that one's kind of done. Now, let's work on this one. All right, so again, I'm going to pull out a length of stuff. I really kind of like this, so I'm going to do a couple of pieces. And some ribbon. We'll use that piece of white seam binding. Get a piece of ribbon here. Where's the end of the ribbon? There's the end of the ribbon. There's the rubber band. Close this one back up. We get this piece. And we might add some sari silk to this one. All right, guys. So there they are. 2 tags, heavily done. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did not vomit lace all over them. It's not my style. It's not what I was looking for. What I was looking to show you is that using this particular type of stabilizer with something like canvas, you can get a pretty hefty tag out of it. that can actually hold some weight and that you can put into your journals or, into your gift packs or your friend mail or whatever you're going to do, um, and have something that is substantial and that will really kind of hold that weight. Okay, so that's it. That's 2 quick tags using canvas and some heat and bond just for the stabilization, binding it to paper and to canvas, so you can do it either way. And this is a little canvas tag. If you tuck this into a journal or a baby book or something and just wrote something nice on the back of it with a waterproof marker, something like a Sharpie, or a micron, you would be able to, have that there for a very, very long time. And on the back of this, you can just write whatever you want. So that's it, guys. Those are my 2 tags. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you haven't done so already, hit the red button for me and subscribe, like me, ring my bell, and share me with all your friends.